Coach, how excited is it when you get through the spring, you get into summer practice, and you realize, man, there's only 60 days left until it's time to play again?
Yeah, it's an exciting time, and I think it's what it brings, to the fruition is that we got to have a sense of urgency about where we're at and what we're doing each day, and our response to everything that we're doing. We have to be very intentional in how we do things and what we're doing, and every day is just as important as the other day. It's just like every down in football is important as the last down. So I think just getting our young people to understand that sense of urgency that we have to have, be smart with their choices and their decisions, really make this time a focal time of getting ready to do, rid yourself of distractions and doing all those type of things is critical for us, especially with kind of the somewhat moderate late start that we get. I work with the same amount of weeks that a lot of people get to work with. So it's imperative that we use our time very wisely and be about the work of getting done what we need to get done to be prepared for this game.
How much of your stuff do you have implemented? How much more do you still have to install?
I think we have the vast majority of what we do in, but it's always about tailoring it and bringing it back to what our young people can do. And each team takes on a different life as you add different pieces, and more guys can do more. Some guys need to do less to do it better. All those type of things. So that's what training camp and all that's all about, is continuing to implement those things, find out where we are, and then tailor it to what we need to do to put ourselves in position to win.
I was looking back at your schedule. There were a couple of blowouts in there, but a lot of those games, man, were like razor-thin margins. Do you just forget about that, or does that stick with you? Like, how do you take those lessons from last year into this year?
Yeah, I think you can't ever know where you're going until you really focus on where you come from. So we go back and we talk about those things and what led to it being that close, what led to it being that outcome, and what do we got to do right now to correct and make sure we don't, have to experience that anymore. And what we need to do, and what we need to do to build upon what we did really well to continue to elevate ourselves. And then what did we miss? What was something we could have done better? That we can make sure we attack and formulate a plan to how to attack those things to elevate that so that we're not dealing with it. So absolutely, you have to look back a little bit just to make a true assessment, but then after you make the assessment, it's about moving forward and what we got to do to put ourselves in position to win those games that will raise it close and not be in a situation where we're lopsided.
This has got to be hard to prepare for. Coach Robinson is new. A quarterback that got a lot of snaps, transferred out. They got a new kid in that a lot of people are excited about. So you don't have a lot of film on what you might see.
Right. I think what you do is you do the best with what you have. And at the end of the day, football is still about you. The opponent, and forget about the things that you just need to go out and simply execute and do well. You miss it all the time. So with all those different variables, yeah, sure, it makes it a little bit more challenging, but you have to welcome all the challenges. We got a slogan around our summer training right now, and it just simply says good on the front of the shirt. No matter what the challenge is, no matter how late we are, no matter what we're dealing with, no matter what the circumstance, no matter what, I just want us to say good. Good. Attack what's next, keep our eyes forward, and move on to what we got to do to go be successful.
I know you don't want to look forward, but your schedule is very interesting this year, especially to start out the year. You guys are here in Atlanta. You look down, you see Morehouse, you see Clark. There's a lot of name brand things to get excited about with this game.
And that's exactly what it should do. When I first got to Howard, I was like, we have to really be careful and cognizant of how we schedule, because scheduling impacts recruiting. It impacts the energy that the alumni feel. It impacts the energy that the city feels. Scheduling is critical, and it's important to really drive in home building the foundation of the program and reinstating what the program should be. So you have to schedule smart. Obviously, you want to schedule smart and put yourself in a position to have success, but you want to with the big picture in mind when you do that. So that's what that schedule kind of resembles and what it kind of looks like. And now we got to go do the work to make sure we're prepared to go.
This question carefully. I'll end with this. What do you need from your home fans this year? A very close loss to South Carolina State, the MEAC champions, on the road last year. You'll have them at home. I know you don't want to talk about that game. What do you need from your fans at home this year?
Show up. That's it. Very simple, because Howard people are very prideful people, so I don't worry about them showing up and not being prideful about what it is that they're watching as Howard. No, we just need them to show up. To be supportive that way, to come up, show up in droves, give us the support and energy. The energy we felt even in our homecoming game when we made that second half comeback, fell a little short of, it was because of the energy that our fans and our alumni and our students was giving us. So they're just as much a critical piece to the success of Howard football, especially playing at home, than anything else. So just to show up, be supportive, be loud, be prideful, have a lot of energy, and come represent our brand, loudly.